hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to Queen V's community. Welcome to our channel. In today's video, guys, I want to talk to you about the structure of social work in UK. I've got a number of questions from people who are watching me from, say, India, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Ghana, Nigeria, and the list goes on. And some of them, they want to come and do social work here, and they want to know about the structure. How is social work like here in UK? So I've taken my time to do a video to answer this question as much as possible. So if you are interested, let's jump into the video. Social work here in UK is divided into children's services and adult services. For the sake of this video, I'm going to talk about the children's services side of social work, but I will do another video later on and focus on the adult services side of social work. Here in UK, the structure is that when you are doing your degree in social work or when you are doing your master's in social work, you study the generic side of social work, which is the adult services and the children's services. So when you qualified as a social worker, you can work within the children's services if you want to, and you can also work within the adult services if you want to. You can move around as well. You can work within the children's services, and if you are tired and you want a different experience, you can move to the adult side of social work. So you are not stagnant. You can move around within adult services and within children's services. That is how the structure is here in UK. The children's services here in UK is very broad. There are so many teams within the children's services. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to focus on some of the keys, some of the important keys, or some of the important teams within the children's services that you can be able to work in. You can be able to do your placement in if you're a student and you are watching me. So yeah, so children's services here in UK, the structure itself is so very broad. When I was a student, I didn't even know how broad, how many teams are within the children's services until I started working as a qualified social worker. That's when I started having more understanding about the dynamics that goes on within the children's services here in the UK. Here in UK, the law says that when you turn 18, you are basically an adult. So children's services, we work with children from 0 to 18. And then obviously young adult comes in, which is the living care comes in. So I want to start from the beginning of the teams within children's services. Majority of the time, children's services, social workers within children's services, our main focus, our main remit, our main activities is safety for children, providing protection for children. So that is what children's services are there for, to provide services, to provide advice, to give guidance to children living at home within the family environment. That is what the children's services is there for. Like I have said, there's so many teams within children's services, but the one which is so very important is the MASH team. Is the door of children's services, is the front door of children's services, is the ambulance of children's services. MASH team takes referrals from the public. MASH team take referrals from the police, your neighbors. Anybody can make referral to children's services. If you have concerns about a family, if you have some sort of child protection concerns about a child, you have to do the referral to the MASH team. You have to call the MASH team. So here in UK, every area, every local authority have got a MASH team sitting down within the children's services, and they are the ones that take referral from people. They are the first protocol when there are concerns within the family. So they receive referral even perhaps from the school, from the lackness, from the health visitors. Anybody here in UK, anybody can make a referral to children's services, and it goes to the MASH team. There is another important team that you can perhaps come and do your placement or perhaps come and work within the children's services, and it's called the assessment team. So the assessment team, basically, they do a lot of assessment. They do a lot of Section 47 investigation. They do a number of assessments. when the referral is received to the match team, they will send the referral to the assessment team. When they know that threshold has been met, when they know that there's the need for a social worker to get involved to do an assessment, they will pass the referral to the assessment team. So basically, the assessment team is there to do and work with the family. Sometimes assessment team will close the case when they know that the family does not need a social worker. They will carry out initial assessment, and sometimes they will offer support, and then they will close the case. Sometimes there will be an issue, child protection concern, then the assessment team will do the initial child protection referral. They will do the CP conference, and they will invite the family over to the conference, and they will share the concerns with the family. So more or less, the assessment team, they work with the family but on a short-term basis. I've done a number of shadowing experience within the assessment team when I was a newly qualified social worker. So I know exactly what goes on within the assessment team, basically supporting the family on a short-term basis. That is what a social worker within the assessment team will be doing. We have another important team within the children's services, and it's called safeguarding team. Some local authority will call it long-term child protection team. Every local authority calls their teams differently, so you need to understand the terminologies that goes on when you are applying for a job, when you are going to do your practice placement within a local authority. The way they will call their assessment team will be different. The way they will call their safeguarding team will be different as well. The way they will call their long-term child protection team will be also different. Every local authority call the assessment team, the terminology, differently. So basically, the assessment team is there to work with the family on long-term child protection issues. The safeguarding team will mostly take referral from the assessment team. When the assessment team carry on the assessment and they believe and the threshold has been met for the family to get a long-term social work involvement, then they will send it to the safeguarding team. I've done and I've worked in the safeguarding team for 2 years, so I do understand what goes on within the safeguarding team. It's continuing child protection, investigation, supporting the family, assisting the family, signposting the family to services and support. Basically, that's what the safeguarding team is there for. And also, if unfortunately we have to take the case to court, the safeguarding team will prepare the case to court. Again, in the assessment team as well, unfortunately, sometimes if the family is not working according to the plan, we might have to go to court. And sometimes the assessment team also initiates the court proceedings within the assessment team. So when you work within the safeguarding team, the assessment team, you'll be doing a number of child protection investigation, and you're going to do a number of court proceedings within the child protection team. So the assessment team and the safeguarding team, they work hand in hand. They work in collaboration. They work together because it's a continuation of supporting family. It's the continuation of giving support services to the family in need of help and advice and guidance. There is also another important team called early help team. So when the threshold is very little, is very low, when the issues does not warrant a social worker to be involved, then the match team or the safeguarding team or the assessment team will do the referral to the early help team. So the early help team more or less are doing preventative work with the family. So social workers, trust me, people believe that social workers, our remit is to take children away. That is not the remit. Our remit is to provide support and services so children can remain at home as much as possible. So the early help team tries their best to engage with children and their family within the home environment, within the community, to prevent social workers to get involved in the lives of the family. So when you are watching me and you want to come and do social work here in UK, perhaps you might want to go and do work within the early help team. They are qualified social workers within the early help team, and they are support workers as well within the early help team. If you are watching me and you are a student, you can equally come in and do your placement within the early help team, because they work together they work in collaboration with the safeguarding team, with the assessment team. And also, I want to say that the early help team is non-statutory. The family doesn't have to engage with the early help team, but it will help them if they are able to engage with the early help team, so the concerns are minimized. Yeah, but when the family is working within the assessment team, within the safeguarding team, then there is a statutory requirement for the family to work with the social worker, because there are concerns within the family. Hence, a social worker have got involved with the family. Basically, that is what the child protection team is there for. There is another important team called the children in care team. And basically, the children in care team, they work with children who unfortunately are not able to live at home, and they are being looked after by the local government. They are being looked after by the local authority, and they are perhaps living within a foster placement, which is with a foster carer, or they are living within a semi-independent accommodation. There are different placements that children who are living away from the family can live in. And you, as a social worker, when you are working within the children in care team, you will be visiting the children in the foster placement, or in a shared accommodation, in a semi-independent accommodation. There's so many variety of placements here in the UK where children who are not able to live at home are living. And I can do a video and talk to you more about the children in care team, because that is my specialized area. I've worked within the children in care team for more than 9 years. I've done child protection, and I've done court work, and I've worked within the children in care team for so many years. So I do understand exactly what goes on within the children in care team. For the sake of this video, I just want to say that when you're working within the children in care team, basically you are supporting the educational needs of children, you are assisting their emotional health, their mental health, their physical well-being. You work with a host of professionals to ensure that children who are living away from the family home are also getting a good outcome for their life. That is what your role and your remit will be within the children in care team. There's another important team as well called the living care team. And the living care team work with young people from the age of 16 to 25. Because once they turn 18, they move the young person to a personal advisor, which is called PA, who will work with the family from 18 to 25 years of age. I am working within the living care team, so I do understand the activities that goes on. What I've done for myself as a qualified social worker, I've moved within teams. So I've done child protection, I've done court work, and I've done children in care. For me, I wanted to understand and have more knowledge about what goes on within the children services as a whole. So I've moved teams, I've moved to 2 or 3 different local authorities. And so I do understand what goes on within the living care team as well, because that's where I'm working in at the moment. Yeah, so living care is basically assisting young adults, helping them into their transition into becoming an adult. So preparing their pathway plans, assisting them. When you are a qualified social worker within the living care team, you are promoting their independence, you are enhancing their independence together with a key worker or together with the foster carer, making sure that they are in education, training, or employment. You are making sure that they are addressing, if they have issues around their mental health, you are helping them to address them. If there's any housing needs, if they are ready for their permanent accommodation, you are helping them to prepare and move to their permanent accommodation. There's so many activities that you're going to get involved in when you come to work within the living care team. Or if you want to do your placement as well within the living care team, it's a very wealth knowledge that you can gain when you work within the young adult services as well. There is another important team called the court team within the children's services. So as the name implies, you are going to work within the court arena. So everything that you do majority of the time is writing court statement, writing court care plans, and working with the children guardian, working with the barrister or the solicitor for the local authority where you are working in. And basically that's what you're going to do. And sometimes you have to observe contact as well. Like I've said to you guys, I've worked in the court team for 2 years, so I do understand what goes on within the court team as well. Yeah, so it's a very high pace. You are always working, writing court statement, writing your court care plan. And if the care plan is being contested by the family, then you need to go to court and give evidence in court. So there's a lot that you're going to do when you come and work or do your placement within the court team. But it's a very valuable experience. I gained so much knowledge, so much understanding when I was working within the court team as well. There is another important team within the children's services, and it's called the fostering team. Fostering team obviously works with foster carers. They are assisting the foster carers to provide quality and good care to the children that have been placed with them, with the young people that has been placed with the foster carers. So basically the fostering team are full of social workers, but their focus is to assisting the foster carers, sharing knowledge with the foster carers, supervising the foster carers so they are doing well for the young people, for the children that are placed with them. Basically that's what I would say. So you can come in and do your placement within the fostering team. You can come in and do your placement and or work within the fostering team. Within the fostering team, you are going to do Form F assessment. You will be doing social and the foster carers report, taking foster carers to panel. Again, when I was a student, I did my placement within the fostering team, so I do understand what goes on in the fostering team as well. And you do coffee morning. When I was a student, I used to organize coffee morning for the foster carers, and it was a very good experience again when you work within the fostering team, assisting and guiding foster carers to do their job well. Basically that's what the fostering team, social workers within the fostering team, is all about. There is also another important team called the youth offending team, the youth team. So the youth offending team is work with young people who perhaps are in prison. Unfortunately, they work with young people who perhaps unfortunately have issues around criminality, gang affiliation. They work with young people unfortunately who are likely to join gangs, who are likely not to be in education, employment and training, and they are forming negative friendship group. They try and engage with young people so they don't commit crime. It's preventative work, and unfortunately those who have committed crime as well and they are in prison, the youth offending team are helping and assisting them as much as possible. I hope I have explained to you guys to the best of my ability some of the structures that goes on within the children's services. I hope I've explained to you guys properly about some of the important teams within the children's services where you can come and do your placement in, where you can come and work in as an overseas worker, as somebody who already living in the UK and you want to come and do social work. These are some of the important teams that you can come in and work in. If you have any specific questions around children's services and I've not been able to touch on, just comment down below, ask me the question, and I'm more than happy to answer to you guys as much as possible. Queenie V, I'm here to share ideas with students, newly qualified, and people who want to join social work. Somebody who have done social work for 13 years, I feel it's important that I come onto social media and do videos that will enrich the knowledge of people, especially overseas workers, international students, people who are living outside of UK and they want to come to the UK looking for information which is not very much available on social media platform. Hence I've come in to upload as much videos as possible to help people out so they have more insight into what goes on within children's services here, within adult services here, within social work as a whole here in UK. I end by saying your dreams and aspirations can come true. Whatever you are planning to do can come true. You never know, but it will never be given to you on a gold plate. It will never be given to you on a silver plate. You have to work hard towards your dreams and aspirations, and one day you never know, it can come to pass. Thanks for watching. See you on my next video, and don't forget to subscribe, share my videos, like the videos, and give me thumbs up if you are happy for me to continue to do videos, upload videos for you guys. So once you give me thumbs up and you comment, you engage with the videos, then the YouTube algorithm will know that people like the videos and they will push it out there, because so many people out there, trust me, are looking for information around social work and it's not there on social media platform here. So share the videos and give me thumbs up, and let's engage with each other. Comment down below, let me know your thoughts about my videos. Ask me questions, I'm more than happy to answer for you guys. Bye.